NTD's classical Chinese dance competition approaches, and we sat down with one candidate, Marilyn Yang, to understand more of her artistic journey and what she has in store for us this year.
A lot of times people ask us, what do you do? And we're like, we're dancers. And they're like, what do you do, ballet or like modern dance? And we're like, no, we do classical Chinese dance. And then they're like, what is that?
Marilyn Yang is from classical Chinese dance company Shen Yun. A former gold medal holder, this is her third time joining the competition.
I've been very familiar with classical Chinese culture because my mom was a singer in Shen Yun, and both my brothers are dancers in Shen Yun Performing Arts. So it was kind of like a natural thing for me to follow in their footsteps, literally. When I was very small, I would look up to the dancers and be like, I want to be up there one day. As a kid, what really enchants you about Shen Yun was the colors, the costumes, and it was always about kind of the excitement of dancing on stage in front of an audience. But then once you actually start professionally, there are a lot of insights that you see afterwards, which is one thing, dance is not easy.
She is particularly impressed with one dance training she received at shenyun, shen dai shou, or the body leads the hands, and kwa dai tui, or the hips lead the legs.
It really makes your moves very clean and big, and the way you can express yourself through your dance is a lot more powerful.
In this technique, the core of the body, the source of all emotions, powers all of the movements.
For example, if someone were to express like shyness, instead of just using your arms, for example, to pose like a pose that's like shy, or like you're blocking your face, or that it's like your body is moving first, like happy, like you might move here first, like excitement, it always comes from this one point. Also, 身带手快的腿 makes our techniques better too. Your spins will be a lot faster, you'll spin a lot more. And then when you use 身带手快的腿 for jumping and like tumbling, it's very different for a dancer. They will immediately jump higher and feel like more lofty when they do it.
Choreographed for this year's competition shows the story of Wang Zhaojun, one of the four most beautiful women in ancient China. Wang prevented bloodshed in her country by being a peace bride, married off to a remote and barren land that's close to today's Mongolia. But instead of focusing on the teary departure scene, Yang turned to the beauty's life on the barren land.
For me, I incorporated some Mongolian dance moves. I wanted to show that her heart was open. She accepts her fate, and she's not bitter about it, and that it's already become a part of her. Like this culture, this Mongolian culture is part of who she is now. And then, but she sees a flower, and then that brings back, like, the memories come flooding back to her, and it shows that she still has that Han Dynasty maiden in her bones. I don't want people to believe that Wang Zhaojun, her whole life was sorrowful, that it was bitter. I want to show that how she was very generous. She won't drown in her own sorrows, that she'll keep looking forward, and then that she'll continue her life in the best way possible.
Yang said classical Chinese dance is able to embody 5,000 years of traditional morality and virtues into its essence, and it requires certain traits from the dancers.
What really stands out is the selflessness. Like when we're dancing on stage, for example, it's not, as dancers, usually people nowadays think it's about the spotlight. They want to be in the front row, they want to be the lead dancer. But for us, it's not about that. We want to give the audience, bring them on a spiritual level. I feel like classical Chinese dance gave meaning to my life because I'm doing something that's bigger than myself.
That's to revive traditional Chinese culture.
Through classical Chinese dance, I got to understand what China's heritage really is supposed to be like. It's divine.
Now she gets to bring these traditions back to life through this expressive art form.
Dance itself is a universal language. Like, you don't have to be of the same culture to understand Chinese dance. You can't really use words to describe China's history, China's dance, Chinese art. It's something you should definitely come and experience for yourself.